Hi, everyone. Today, we're going to be bridging two revolutionary technologies that were meant to work together, both AI and Onchain. The Model Context Protocol, or MCP, isn't just another standard. It's what lets AI agents discover and use external tools dynamically at runtime. No predefined workflows, no rigid limitation. MCP gives agents the ability to access APIs, data sources, and services as they need them. When combined with AgentKit, something magical happens. Your AI agents can now interact seamlessly with both traditional systems and on-chain networks like Base and Coinbase. These can read smart contracts, execute transactions, and manage crypto while simultaneously pulling data from anywhere else they need. What used to take weeks of custom integrations can now happen in one single command. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you how to build agents that can execute real on-chain actions while leveraging MCP's ability to dynamically access any tool they need. This is what developers are looking for at places like Anthropic and ChatGPT and Grok and all of the LLM models. It's not just about talking to blockchains. It's about building truly autonomous agents that can do things on-chain. With that, let's dive right into the Coinbase Quick Start docs and we'll start building. Let me share my screen. I pulled this over a little bit weird, so I'm going to redo it. I'm going to move my live stream off onto another screen. And now we'll start sharing right on the Coinbase Getting Started docs. All right, so if you aren't already familiar with Coinbase and the Coinbase Developer Kit, I'm going to add a link and a QR code in the top. You should have just seen a Start Here QR code in the top left. So if you want to jump in right where I'm at, you can scan that QR and then you'll see exactly where I am. So we're going to be following this quick start guide to use the NPX Create On-Chain Agent latest. And so this should allow us to choose the Model Context Protocol. Let's give it a shot. I'm going to open up my terminal. I'm going to clear it up a little bit because I've been doing other stuff. And now let's change directories. I should have a Coinbase folder or a Base folder. We're going to go into Base. And now I'm going to run that command, npm create on-chain agent latest. With this one command, it's all we need to get started. It's going to prompt us to first download the package. And once we download that package, project name, I'm going to call this MCP AgentKit. And we're going to be using the Model Context Protocol, EVM obviously. Do we want base mainnet or base testnet is the question. Let's do it live on mainnet. And we're going to use base mainnet. Ooh, and what do we want to use? Authentication and wallet infrastructure. I like Privy and I like VM. If I could choose between one or the other, I'm going to use VM because it's going to be a little bit more lightweight. So let's see what happened. Do I now have an MCP? I now have MCP. So what we're going to do is I'm going to CD into that. And now let's open it up with cursor.slash and see what that gave us. This was my first time using the CLI to spin up the project, and it felt pretty simple. So now I'm curious to see if it actually works. Let's check out the README and see what it gave us. We've got a Model Context Protocol server. It integrates AgentKit. First thing it says we need to do is install the dependencies. So let's do that with npm I for npm install. And now configure your environment variables in Claude desktop config.json. What do we need? For example, if you're using CDP, you want to fill out the CDP API key. It looks like we need CDP API key name, CDP IP private key, and I need a new private key. So I'll get all of those details. The biggest question I have is how can I generate a private key on the fly really quick? I was hoping it was just going to fill it in, but let's start getting those variables because that's what we're going to need. Let's read through this just to make sure I'm aware of all the things we're going to need to do, and then we'll get those environment variables. Install the packages. We're doing that right now. It's still working on it. Then we need to fill in our environment variables. We'll do that right after I read through this. Then we're going to be copying our desktop config into the Claude settings. We'll build our server, And then from there, we can modify our configuration. And that should be it, question mark. I guess once we do that, we should then be able to use the Claude desktop app to be able to use this MCP server that we built. Let's try following those instructions. The thing that I think these docs are missing is the ability to start the server. Do we need to start the server, or are we just copying the info and then that's all we got to do to get started? I'm not sure. And it also doesn't talk about how we use Claude desktop here, because it looks like that's where we're going to be used, the Claude desktop config. But I think I'm overthinking at this point, so let's dive in. Our package is just finished. Let's now get the keys that we need. And so I'll get those keys by going to CDP, portal.cdp.com. Portal.cdp.coinbase.com is where we go to get our API keys and to manage our projects. Once we visit this landing page, we'll be seeing our list of projects, and then we can go into the API keys tab to get our API key for the project. We'll go to API keys. This is one of my old keys, so I'm going to briefly delete this because I forget to delete my keys sometimes. Delete that key. And now let's create a new API key. I'm going to call this delete MCP AgentKit. Create those keys. And now we've got a set of keys. I'll copy the key name and I'll put it inside of CDP key name. And then private key is the secret. So I'll take the secret and put it right there. And now the only thing I'm missing is private key, which we'll need to generate somehow. So let me try generating. Can you write a small script to generate a private key using VM? Let's see if we can quickly get a private key that I can put into here. This should already be in. This is already Node.js, right? It's reading the package.json. It's confirming that we already have VM. Now it's going to write a small script that we can use to generate a private key. So very simple. This is all we need to get a new private key. And now it should tell me what we need to do to run this. You can run it using that. Let's run the command, and this should give us a private key. I do not recommend doing this on a live stream if you're actually going to use this private key, but this is just for educational purposes. You can see that we just got a private key. I'm going to throw this private key right into our private key line, and now we have a private key. So from here, let's go back to our instructions. First, install the dependencies. We've done that. Then you need to configure your environment variables inside of Claude desktop config.json. We've already done that. Next, we want to copy into our Claude desktop config. We want to copy this config into our Claude desktop config. So open this up, paste the command. It looks like I forgot an N on the end, so I miscopied. Let me try it again. Let's paste it. All right, so now we should have that file in our Claude config. Let's build the MCP server. And now I actually missed it before. It says open Claude desktop, so let's do that. I'll open Claude. I've already got Claude desktop installed. Let's open it up and see if we now can use AgentKit inside of our local Claude app. Open Claude and start prompting to do things on chain. That's all we got to do. I guess we don't even have to run the server. It should just work right out the gate. That's what we want, is technology that just works. So that when we're building, we can keep moving forward and know that the tools that we're building on work right out of the box as is, no extra configuration required. Okay, it looks like MCP server AgentKit has been disconnected. So I'm gonna try to just proceed with logging in, and we'll try hitting the endpoint to see if it works. Going to sign in onto the Claude desktop app with Google. If it works, install Claude. Is everything going okay? Seems like we're stuck. Close this. I'm going to try it again. Try Sweetman Tech. All right, we should have just gotten an email. You know what? I'm not going to share my email on the stream. I'm going to do this on my other tab just to be a little more professional in the things that I share, as I have an API key sitting here. Okay, I've got a secure link. I'm going to sign into Claude. Looks like I should have just gotten that Claude Magic link. Logging you in. It's going to try to open Claude. Let's let it open Claude. If it doesn't automatically open, I click this button. Please do it. Is it working? It looks like it has signed me in. And now I want to check out the debugging docs and maybe check into here for settings. Let's try just sending a chat with, hi, what's my ETH wallet address? Now let's see if we can get, I don't have any information. You'll need to do that stuff. Okay. I think the first copy was incorrect. Can you show me all the files in the directory I copied the file to in my previous 2 commands? Based on the logs, deprecated warning, broken connection, says the setting will no longer be determined. All right, it's searching inside of the current config, but I actually want to check out. I don't think this is doing what I want, so I'm going to stop it. And I'm just going to ls this folder. So let's ls right here. And I see Claude desktop config.json, and I also see .jso. So I'm going to rm Claude jso. It's got to be from the same directory. So what I'm going to do is rm paste, and now we're going to start typing Claude desktop.jso. Oop, that should have removed it. Let's try ls again, and now we just have our actual JSON file. From here, let me try to retry it. All right. Seems like it is not working immediately. So my question is, how do I get this to work? Back at the same place. Let's bring cursor over here, and let's read through these instructions again. So I installed the dependencies. Let's verify. Install the dependencies. Whoops. npm install. I'm going to get Telegram up just to communicate with the first attempt with MCP isn't working. All right, so I've installed the packages. I just did it again. I've already set up all my environment variables right here. All that I did was I filled in a private key, base mainnet. I put in my CDP API key name and my CDP API key private key. So that should be good. Copy the Claude desktop config JSON file to the directory. I've already done this, but I'll do it again. Let's copy this into there. file's been copied. I'll verify it's been copied by listing what's inside of that directory. I can see that the Claude desktop config file is there. Say hi to Solana, everybody. She has decided she wants to do some pair programming with us today. So here's my kitty, and she's here to do some pair programming. She's like, I want to do MCPs on AgentKit. How can I make it so that I can access AgentKit right from inside of the Claude desktop app? I want to get this thing working so that I can do on-chain actions right from an AI model. So this little baby wants to do the pair programming with us. Let's see if we can overcome these hurdles so that she can get what she wants. Next step after I copy those files is I should just be able to run npm run build. I'll run that again, npm run build. Once this gets built, I should be able to just open up the Claude app. Let me open up the Claude app again, and I'm going to shut it down just so we can get that native startup. Here's Claude, new chat. What is my wallet info? I don't have access to any of that. Use your tools, please. I don't have access to any tools that would allow me to get wallet information. Let me try fully closing out of Claude, and I'll try reopening it. Command click, quitting Claude. Gonna try reopening it with command space, and let's just open up Claude. Let's see if I can get an error message that I can send over to the Coinbase team, or if there is a, or if there's an error, or if we get success this time. Claude app is opening up. Okay, Claude app has opened. I'm on the free plan, which should be fine. How can I verify the tools that I have? Let's search tools. Not giving me anything. Okay, I'm getting a message from Carson on the CDP team. I'm gonna throw in an eye emoji. Can you please share the config file in the one that got copied? Yes, sir, I can, absolutely. So they would like me to cat the file that I have copied, which should be right here. And so let me cat that file, and here it is for you. I'm going to send a screenshot of this over to the Coinbase team. Is that what you're looking for at Carson? I want to make sure the copy worked and that your route to the server is correct. I just sent it off to Carson and the Coinbase team, so hopefully they can get this fixed while we're here on the stream. In the meantime, I'm wondering, how can I verify the tools you have access to? Let me see if I can do any debugging on my side to see why. Ask me a code. Yeah, I know. I've added an MCP server. Where can I confirm it's configured properly? I don't have the ability to check, to confirm it's check the server logs. Well, the thing is I'm not running a server. They didn't tell me to run a server. AgentKit build is the only thing I should need to run is what it says here. So we should be fine. What else do I need to do in order to get this running? Yes, can you confirm that route is in your args? Can you confirm that route is in args is correct and you ran npm run build and therefore have /build index? You're asking me to run npm run build, right? already ran twice, but will run again. Okay, they would like me to run npm run build again, so I'll run npm run build. I'm just going to keep sending them screenshots so that they are aware of what I'm doing. We're running the build. Build looks like it was successful. Build successful. Add in a green check. And I'm going to try to get them the live stream so that they are aware of where it is I'm building. And I'm also going to send it in the thread in case anyone has missed this. So if I come back here, link please, I'm going to give them the link. We're live. Live here if you want to tune in. Okay, so what can I do next? Let's try going over to the model context protocol docs. No, that takes us to a dead link. MCP link in docs is dead too. Just given Coinbase all the info of the problems in the stack, what steps do I need to follow to successfully get MCP server working at Carson? All right, current status, we have been following the docs. We selected our wallet provider. We have run the project locally. And Claude's just not giving us any sort of answers. Claude MCP is not working. Is there a different prompt you recommend I run? I really just want this Coinbase tech to work. You know, this is like 2 weeks in a row that I've been trying to do these demos. I'm following exact docs that they have, and I'm not even trying to do anything custom. I'm just trying to get it to work. And so far, it's not working. So the question is, are we going to be able to fix this during the live stream? If yes, I can do another one of these from the start and make it much faster. But so far, the Coinbase team seems stumped as to why the getting started guide is not here. So what options do we have to proceed? I assume Claude is not getting configured. Can you check out MCP server? Okay. Checking, Mag. I do appreciate the Coinbase team hopping on to help me debug in real time. So I'm being told to check out MCP server AgentKit log and library logs Claude. So let's open up and let's do Command D. I'm needing to do a lot over in this other location, so let's just go over there and keep a terminal open to make it a little bit faster. We're gonna cd here. Whoops. We want to cd into here minus the file name. And I'm still doing it wrong. Let's try it a little bit slower. ls. All right, and inside of here, library logs Claude. Library, oh, I'm too deep. So we'll cd dot dot, library. Here we should have logs, cd logs. And here we should have Claude. there's Claude. So let's cd into Claude. And here we've got MCP AgentKit log and MCP log. Can you check out MCP server AgentKit log? So let's cat that. Let me copy the error. I'll take a screenshot first. I can confirm that there's an error here. Confirmed error. Let's copy the specific error. How can I fix this error at Carson? Require ESM, must use, let's open it up so everybody can see. So here's the error we're getting. Error require ESM, file name path, package JSON path. Error must use import to load ES modules. And it seems like we're not using import. It looks like we are using import here. I do see a build. We're using import here, and we're using import here. So everywhere it looks like it's using import. So it seems like the code does not work and that there's bugs in it that the Coinbase team will need to clean up. But I'm wondering if they can help me out while I'm on this call, on this live stream, or if we're going to need to wrap it up and give the Coinbase team some time to fix it. Luckily, they are tuned in and they are helping us out live. So if you're tuned in and you're hitting these same errors, the Coinbase team is watching and they're going to be debugging this live with us. And if we don't get it fixed here today, we're going to be coming back to get this fixed later on. Where was I? I was in the README, following the instructions, waiting patiently for support from Carson on the Coinbase team. Carson left the Telegram, so I think I'm hoping he's trying to debug this on his side. Okay, Carson says he's running through the process on their end, seeing if they can recreate it with the selections you chose. Do you have a different set of selections which you recommend I try at Carson? I am just following the docs. My pair programmers come back. So while we wait for Carson, here's a beautiful kitty being my pair programmer. She just likes to cuddle. She usually goes and sleeps underneath the heated blanket because it's getting cold down here in Santiago, Chile. So I think she's just going to lay down in my lap and take a little nap here. So I don't think she'll be doing much pair programming right now, but she will be providing purrs and good vibes. If anybody in the chat has also gotten this error, please let me know in the chat what the error is that you've seen, so that way I can highlight it here so that the Coinbase team can take a look at it and fix it. We are building live on AgentKit, trying to use MCP plus AgentKit. I started by following the npm create onchain agent latest. I'm using the model context protocol option with VM as my local private key management. It looks like I didn't actually know you could select all the wallet providers, so this is new to me, that you have an option to select account abstraction with advanced features, server wallets, VM, privy server wallets, or privy delegated embedded wallets. I'm not sure what the difference is between the privy server wallets and the privy delegated embedded wallets, and also not sure the difference between these two of CDP smart wallets and CDP server wallets. Not sure what the difference is between those. So I usually select VM because it's the most raw, bare bones solution. But if the Coinbase team recommends I follow something else, I'm fine to switch, because my goal is to show this working. The hard thing about these last two streams is I've been following the Coinbase docs and then the tech just doesn't work. And so my main question is, what do I need to follow in order to get this to work? I don't think my machine is too out of the ordinary. I'm just following the docs that they've given. And even when I'm talking directly with the Coinbase team, it is not helping the issues get resolved any faster. And so the question I'm posing open, what do I need to follow in order to do a nice clean demo of AgentKit? Why does the tech not just work out of the box? Am I doing something wrong? Are other developers seeing these same errors and it's not just me? Is the problem with the tech stack that Coinbase is building, or is the error on my side as a dev? Am I doing something wrong? Is the tech stack not working? I'm sitting here just asking questions to fill time until I get a response from the Coinbase team as to how we can fix this. So far, how long have we been sitting with the error? Error has taken, we've been sitting with this error since 5:11. It's now 5:28, so we have passed 16 minutes waiting with this error. Carson is typing, so I'll wait till Carson sends the message. Carson has stopped typing, he's typing again. Carson stopped typing, he's typing. Seems like he's having a deep thought. It's taken him a while to type. Come on, Carson. Send me a message. Let me know what I got to do to fix this. I filled up 15 minutes of me yapping to try to give you some time to get me debugged, and so far, following the docs. It's been 15 minutes of me filling the live stream with babble, waiting for help from @Carson/@Lincoln. How much longer should I? Checking node version. Okay, now they're asking what version of Node I'm using, Node-V. What other steps do you recommend? Live stream is getting stale with no progress from your guidance @Carson. Should I end the stream, or do you have guidance for how I can get your tech to work @Carson? I love building in public. It puts pressure on things to get working right now. This tech has docs written out for it. If I wrote docs like this, the code would just work. The fact that I followed the docs, they sent me, Coinbase sent me the specific docs I should be following. I have followed the docs to the T, and it's still not working. This isn't even my preferred way to build. My preferred way to build is that I already have an app and I want to add this into my app. Coinbase said, no, because last time it didn't work. Start with this command. And so I'm starting with this command. I've run the command. I'm following the docs that they said, and it's still not working. And if it's not working for me and I have a direct line of communication with the Coinbase team, I can only imagine how hard it is for all of y'all who are trying to build on top of the stack and it's not working. And this isn't me trying to bash them. This is just me trying to figure out, fill up space in the stream. What do devs need to do to get this tech stack working? What docs do we follow? Do one of these not work? Like, should I be selecting only one of these? If so, tell me which one I need to follow, because I'm trying to follow exactly what they're telling me and it's still not working. So what steps do I need to follow to get AgentKit working? Why is the tech not just working out of the box? I will wait 5 more min before I wrap up the stream as another failure. Please help by telling me what I need to follow to run a working demo at Carson or at Lincoln. Please support. I've got a Coinbase chat with 10 people directly in here, and the examples just aren't working. I'm telling, is there a different set of options I should run? Because I followed the options that they told me to. Didn't work. We've been waiting here for 15, 20 minutes. Both Lincoln and Carson are working on it. No progress. They're both looking into it. I think I'm just going to sit here and not say anything, because I definitely am not trying to bash Coinbase. My mind is running with how can I progress? I didn't write this code. This is their template out of the box. This isn't even me creating a new app and then trying to add it in. This is a brand new template that they have built. And it's not working. I'm waiting for them. I think I'm just going to sit here and read a book so that I'm not running through the same loop in my mind. And I'll read one page and then I'll check back in on what time it is. I'm sorry if this live stream is not entertaining. This is definitely not how I would like to be spending it, but this is the current position of AgentKit. So if you're watching this, know that you're early. If you're running into this error, know that you're not alone. I also am hitting the same errors that you're hitting, and the tech just does not work right now. Luckily, we're in a bear market, and so this is not high energy. This is exactly the time that people should be building and fixing this stuff. So hopefully this is the impetus that the Coinbase team needs in order to fix it. But instead of me continuing to yap in this loop, I'm reading a book called The Death and Life of Great American Cities, and I'm just going to read this out loud so that it's not me here sitting quietly. Rents were very low when the market began to attract shoppers, he says. For a shop about 20 feet by 40 feet, they were $25 to $50 a month. They've already gone up about $75. Many a city's enterprises, which become important economic assets, start small and poor and become able eventually to afford carrying costs of rehabilitation or new construction. But this process could not occur without a low yield space in the right place in which to start. Areas where better mixtures of primary diversity must be cultivated will have to depend heavily on old buildings, especially at the beginning of deliberate attempts to catalyze diversity. If Brooklyn, New York, as an example, is ever to cultivate the quantity of diversity and degree of attraction and liveliness it needs, it must take maximum economic advantage of combinations of residence and work. Without these primary combinations in effective and concentrated proportions, it's hard to see how Brooklyn can begin to catalyze its potential for secondary diversity. Brooklyn cannot well compete with suburbs for capturing big and well-established manufacturers seeking a location. At least it cannot at present, certainly not by trying to beat out the suburbs at their game, on their terms. Brooklyn has quite different assets. If Brooklyn is to make the most of work residents' primary mixtures, it must depend mainly on incubating work enterprises, and then holding on to them as long as it can. While it has them, it must combine them with sufficiently high concentrations of residential population and with the short blocks to make the most of their presence. The more it makes of their presence, the more firmly it is to apt to hold work uses. But to incubate those work uses, Brooklyn needs old buildings, needs them for exactly the task they fulfill there. For Brooklyn is quite an incubator. Each year, more manufacturing enterprises leave Brooklyn for other locations than move into Brooklyn from elsewhere. Yet the number of factories in Brooklyn has been constantly growing. A thesis prepared by 3 students at Brooklyn's Pratt Institute explains this paradox well. 1 page done. How long has it been since I said it? 33, or we at 38? We've got 1 minute left. I haven't gotten any response from the Coinbase team, so I'm going to tell them I am wrapping up the stream. It seems both at Carson and at Lincoln need more time to debug and fix the AgentKit docs/codebase. Thanks for the live support. Next time, please give me a prompt with working code. Prayer emoji. All right, everybody. I really appreciate you tuning in and sticking with me in this live coding session where we attempted to use AgentKit to build out an MCP server with Claude. This time it did not work. So if you made it this far, don't even give this video a like, because I don't know that we need more visibility on a video that didn't work. But if you work at Coinbase, please look at this video, watch how we did this. If I did something wrong, please tell me how I can be doing better, because I am doing my best to build on top of Coinbase, and following the docs, I'm getting errors. So thank you for tuning in.